Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Seeking sister wife. Why the Merrifields called Roberta a scammer. Seeking sister wife family. The Merrifields hoped that Roberta would join them as a sister wife. However, Garrick and Danielle consider her a scammer. Seeking sister wife stars Garrick and Danielle Merrifield courted potential sister wife Roberta Patch during seasons 3 and 4 of the hit series, but the couple has shaded Roberta for allegedly scamming them out of thousands of dollars. Roberta was 33 years old when she and Garrick met online. Roberta is a native of Brazil and spoke no English on the show. She and the Merrifields relied on translator apps to communicate, and they hired a translator on one trip to Brazil. Garrick had a vision from God in which he would live happily with a total of 5 wives. Roberta and the Merrifields were introduced in Seeking Sister Wife Season 3, as Garrick and Danielle looked to expand their family and relationship by embracing a polygamous lifestyle. They had been monogamous for 13 years. They went so far as to have Danielle and Garrick divorce so Garrick could bring a foreign bride to America. The duo wanted to bring Roberta into their clan, but that goal would ultimately fail after the addition of potential sister wife Lee Newton. After Roberta departed, the Merrifields shared what they believe is the real reason why Roberta left their family so abruptly. Garrick and Danielle were planning on bringing Roberta to the U.S. on a K-1 fiancé visa, so she and Garrick would have 90 days to get married once she moved to Colorado. Roberta's visa was approved, and she was set to join Garrick and Danielle in America. However, Garrick revealed to his friends and family that he and Danielle had sent Roberta nearly $10,000 in Seeking Sister Wife, Season 4 before her arrival in the U.S. The Merrifields had consistently sent Roberta money in the past, but this was the most they'd sent. Shortly after the money was sent, Roberta chose to call off her 4-year courtship with the couple. In fact, Roberta acted immature and shady by breaking up with the Merrifields via text. When Garrick and Danielle left Brazil the final time they saw Roberta, Roberta made it clear she did not want Garrick and Danielle courting another potential sister wife until she joined them in the U.S. Garrick and Danielle chose not only to ignore Roberta's wishes, but Garrick took things further and kissed Lee while they were courting. Garrick and Danielle even made Roberta sit through a video call with Lee where Roberta was obviously upset and uncomfortable. In the series of text messages Roberta sent to the Merrifields upon their breakup, Roberta confessed that discovering that Garrick was intimate with his new potential sister wife Lee was her breaking point. While the timing of Roberta's breakup coinciding with the large sum of money sent is dubious, Roberta did seem to have a strong point since the Merrifields crossed her boundary. Garrick and Danielle believe that Roberta's separation from the family was due to her being a scammer, and no longer needing to use them for money. The red flags in the Merrifields' relationship were even more visible when it was revealed that, on top of sending Roberta $9,800 after their final Brazil visit, Danielle and Garrick had also been sending Roberta money every month. It's hard to say whether Roberta would have stayed in the Merrifields' lives if Garrick and Danielle hadn't gone against her hard request for them not to court anyone until she was in America. The Merrifields experienced a rocky start to their polygamist goals during Season 3, which saw Garrick divorce his first wife Danielle in order to propose to Roberta. However, the Merrifields were determined to make their plural relationship with Roberta work and bring her to the United States. Unfortunately, the Merrifields' relationship with Roberta would come to an end by the time Season 4 was over. There were a lot of factors working against their union with Roberta, and they wasted a lot of time, money, emotions, and energy on their far-fetched connection with Roberta, and they paid the price. The Merrifields apparently don't like to learn their lesson. They are back on Seeking Sister Wife Season 5 and courting another Brazilian woman, 25-year-old Nathalia Lima, who also doesn't speak English. While the Merrifields haven't been cashing out for Nathalia like they did for Roberta, their plural dreams with Nathalia are still difficult. Danielle has been hesitant about dating Nathalia so soon after Roberta, repeating old patterns and opening their family up to the possibility of being hurt again via TLC. Title: Seeking Sister Wife. Why the Merrifields called Roberta a scammer. The Merrifields' quaint suburban home in Salt Lake City was more than just a house. It was a sanctuary of family values, laughter, and shared dreams. but behind its white picket fence and blooming rose bushes lay a story of unconventional love and unexpected betrayal. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the neatly trimmed lawn, the Merrifields sat in their cozy living room, enveloped in the flickering light of the fireplace. Sarah Merrifield, a spirited woman with a cascade of chestnut curls, sat perched on the edge of the sofa, her hazel eyes filled with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. Beside her, her husband, David, a ruggedly handsome man with a perpetual twinkle in his blue eyes, leaned forward eagerly. "Are you ready to talk about it, honey?" Sarah asked, her voice tinged with nervous energy. David nodded, reaching out to squeeze her hand reassuringly. "I think it's time we address the elephant in the room," he said with a sigh. Roberta. Roberta, her name hung in the air like a heavy curtain, casting a shadow over the Merrifields' once idyllic life. She had entered their world like a whirlwind, promising companionship, love, and sisterhood. But as time wore on, her intentions became increasingly murky, her actions shrouded in secrecy. "It all started so innocently," Sarah began, her voice trembling slightly. "We met Roberta through a mutual friend at a community event. She was charming, intelligent, and seemed genuinely interested in our lifestyle." David nodded, his jaw clenched in frustration. "We had been considering the idea of polygamy for some time," he admitted. "But we were hesitant to take the plunge. Roberta made it seem so natural." Their journey into polygamy had been fraught with uncertainty and doubt, but Roberta had appeared like a guiding light, offering them reassurance and support every step of the way. She had become more than just a potential sister wife. She had become a confidant, a trusted friend. But then things started to unravel, Sarah continued, her voice growing faint. "Little inconsistencies at first, small lies and half-truths that we brushed aside. But as time went on, they became harder to ignore." David's expression darkened. "She would disappear for days without explanation, claiming she needed space to clear her head," he said bitterly. "But then we would hear rumors about her partying and gallivanting around town. It just didn't add up." Their once promising relationship with Roberta had devolved into a tangled web of deceit and betrayal. What had started as a journey towards love and unity had morphed into a nightmare of manipulation and heartache. "We tried to confront her, to get to the truth," Sarah said, her voice tinged with sorrow. "But she always had an excuse, a plausible explanation for every indiscretion. We wanted so desperately to believe her, to salvage what was left of our relationship. But the cracks in their facade were impossible to ignore. Roberta's lies had eroded the foundation of trust upon which their relationship was built, leaving behind a trail of broken promises and shattered dreams. It was clear she had no intention of being a true sister wife," David said, his voice heavy with resignation. "She was only in it for herself, for the attention, the thrill of the chase. We were nothing more than pawns in her game." As the flames in the fireplace dwindled to mere embers, casting long shadows across the room, the Merrifields sat in silence, enveloped in a cloak of sadness and regret. Their journey into polygamy had left them scarred and disillusioned, their faith in love and sisterhood shaken to its core. "But despite everything, I don't regret our decision to seek a sister wife," Sarah said, her voice filled with quiet determination. "It may not have ended the way we had hoped, but it taught us valuable lessons about trust, honesty, and the true meaning of family." David nodded in agreement, reaching out to wrap his arms around his wife in a comforting embrace. "Our journey may have been rocky, but it brought us closer together," he said softly. "And in the end, that's all that matters." As the night wore on and the Merrifields retired to bed, their hearts heavy with sorrow but hopeful for the future, they knew that their journey was far from over. Despite the pain and betrayal they had endured, they remained steadfast in their belief that somewhere out there was a sister wife who would truly embrace their family as her own, a woman who would bring light and love back into their lives once more.